What's going on, guys? My name is Jackson Mvunganyi. We're still in Accra, Ghana. It's a hot Sunday afternoon in a neighborhood located a few meters from the Atlantic Ocean. I made plans to meet up with two young Ghanaian creatives. Joseph Nti is the host of Sincerely Accra, a popular podcast among young Ghanaians in Accra and outside. We're also joined by Donald, the co-founder of Gold Coast Report. It's a podcast network that hosts Sincerely Accra and other forms of audio content. I asked both of them to join me for a ride in one of Ghana's most popular forms of public transportation. It's hot. It's hot. So there's no AC, right?
No.
Do we pay extra for the AC? Alright. As we are in a trotro, this is a part of a local public transportation here in Accra, Ghana. I'm with Joseph and Donald, both of them podcasters, creatives in the media space here, cultural space, the movers and the shakers of things, you know, the new young generation of Ghanaians.
So what we're sitting in right now is a trotro. It's the main mode of transportation for most people living here in Accra. There are two ways to get onto a trotro. You can go to the station where it's stationary and then you load it. They wait for the whole thing to be full before it moves. Or you wait at the different bus stops, because what happens is when people get off, there's space and then you get on. And each trotro has its demarcated area that it's going to. So you need to know where you're going and where to stand to get the trotro that's going where you're going.
Now, does each trotro have its own character, per se, in the artwork, in the music it plays? Because I've seen in many, African urban centers, they have these, means of transportation, and they try to one-up each other by being different, by being creative.
Yeah,
in Accra, do they do the same thing?
I think so. I think honestly, the personalities of the drivers also come to play. Look, you can see we have a little Burberry situation going on here. Most drivers like to have signs at the back of their trotros. I know you've seen they have all sorts of coats. I don't know what inspires the coats. Some of them have televisions inside and a lot of design. So I think the personality of the drivers really shows inside the trotro.
What do people use this local transportation? Going to work, to school?
Everything. You go to work, parties, weddings, everything.
You go in a party with this one too?
Oh yes. If you take
with your
trotro,
fancy clothes?
Yes, if you take a trotro, you will see all types of people. Some people wearing suits, traditional attire. But the thing about the timing, it's very impossible to tell.
Yeah.
Unlike in the Western world where you can take a train and you know that you're going to drop off at this time, it doesn't work that way because there's a lot of factors.
You have to have a lot of time on
traffic
your hands.
can be a problem. The trotro can break down. That can be a problem.
Lots of variables.
Yes, and then
in like a 10-minute trip.
And the number of stops.
Yeah.
Just imagine this is a full car and you're going somewhere, and every 2 seconds someone has to get off, someone has to come on.
So this one takes about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 20, almost 20 people, all of them different destinations. Stepping off at different places.
And then when they step off, new people come on. So you can never really say, oh, it's going to be a 10-minute ride. No. The only way you can accurately tell how long it's going to take you is if you use a ride-sharing app, one of those cars. Yeah. But with the trotro, you take what you get.
You take what you get.
Yeah.
Has the price, because I know the price of gas all over the world has increased. Has the price of transportation here?
Oh yes. Because what happens is it's always announced in the news, and the thing is, even if they don't announce it, you hear, because people have arguments, and once again, videos end up on social media.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of arguments and misunderstandings, because when there's a daily price increase in transportation, how do you plan for your movement? Yeah. So I'm aware of that.
Tell us about Sincerely Accra.
Sincerely Accra is Accra's love letter to the world. It's the pulse of the nation. The podcast runs on Vox Pops and interviews with people of interest. We started it in 2017 to get into conversations that are plaguing young people here in Accra. All sorts of things. Nothing is off limits on Sincerely Accra, because it's the everyday conversations that we're having with our friends in our homes when we go out to drink, and we just take those conversations and put them on the podcast. And you throw in a few popular sound bites and my crazy opinion, and you have Sincerely Accra.
What are some of the most popular topics you've had so far?
The most popular subject matter on Sincerely Accra is definitely sex. Ghanaians are a nation of sex habits, but they just do not like to talk about it. So when you throw in, the whole anonymity, because when we do the Vox Pops, we don't know names, and it's also an audio platform, so they are more willing to talk about it. They see everything,
It's a taboo topic, still a taboo topic in public.
Yes, how people have it, who they have it with, it's just a taboo topic.
Yeah.
Another thing would definitely be relationships and dating, because that's also closely tied into sex. And then I would say the third thing is money. Salaries. We've spoken about fresh graduate salaries, how to manage in the economic stress that we're currently in this year. So like money, relationships, dating, and sex.
So how did you start into podcasting?
Okay, so there's always two things. Okay, the GCR network, that's the Gold Coast Report, that's the network that we're signed to. I got invited to speak on a podcast.
And we have the GCR guru right here behind us, Donald.
Yeah, Donald invited me to speak on a podcast that they had called Free Your Mind. And before then, I had just listened to Serial, the podcast with, I think, Adnan Saeed. He was wrongfully accused of murder. Yeah, I just finished listening to it and I liked the idea of a podcast. So I was talking with my producer and co-creator Kwame about how podcasting is cool. We should get into it, because honestly we got to know each other through creative means, and I got invited on Free Your Mind, and so I said, Kwame, listen, these guys are set up. I think we can write a proposal and get our podcast started. And that's what we did. They loved the idea, and 5 years down the line, Sincerely Accra is the #1 podcast in Ghana.
Jonah, we did speak to you a little bit earlier this week about podcasting in general. What is it about Sincerely Accra that is appealing to your demographic?
Yeah, I think Sincerely Accra, what it does very well is capture the heart and soul of the everyday life and people of Accra. And I think Joseph does an amazing job of his delivery is like one of the selling points of the show, honestly. And of course, you couple that with the amazing job of the Kwame Asante, the producer of the show. And
shout out to Kwame.
Yes, co-creator of the show as well. You put those two elements together and you have definitely one of the
magic. You have magic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a character. I had him at one of the events, the Mosaic event, him interviewing. I wasn't even seeing him, but I could hear the personality come through.
Yeah, we do our best.
Yeah. But so where do you want to see Sincerely Accra in the next couple of years? Give us a future outlook.
In the next couple of years, like I said,
will you be exploring the same topics? Will you be on different platforms?
It is Accra's love letter to the world, so I definitely wanted to reach more people, a bigger audience, span across the continent, different people, because the thing is, Ghanaians are everywhere, okay? And definitely, even if we're having the same conversations, it will be at an elevated level, adding more elements, adding more voices and angles and perspectives. We want it to become a staple, household name. And when people want to find out the opinions of people here living in Ghana, Accra, they know that when you go to Sincerely Accra, you're going to get everything that you need. Yeah, that's pretty much the vision.
Now, and I'm going to ask both of you to chime in on this. There's been, people say that the attention span, especially of millennials and Gen Zs, that they don't have time to sit down and listen to a 30-minute product, so audio, because of the TikTok mentality, 15 seconds of sound bites. Are you worried that tons of people from conversations that are long and
I think honestly it depends on how engaging the content is, because I think even now a massive part of our demographic is Gen Zs, is millennials. The very people we are worried about, and they do take their time to listen through a whole episode of Sincerely Accra. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because the content is, like I said, we are capturing the heart soul of the people, and these conversations are things that they can relate to directly. So I think for us, I don't think that's going to be a problem for the show.
Yeah, and when we started out, the episode was 10 minutes long. And it's now sometimes over an hour, but we usually range between 35 to 45 minutes. And it's also because the fans ask for it. Now people literally say, it was too short, we want more. And then another thing is that we have different segments. The Vox Pop is a segment of its own, Listener Letters is a segment of its own, my opinions on things is. So I feel like people are able to listen to it in bite sizes. It's a podcast, it's you can always go back to it. So I don't think that's going to be a problem too much.
How is life in Accra in the last couple of years, last 5 years? Talk to us about some of the major changes, especially in youth culture.
Youth culture. Oh, people are going out more. I must say, when I was growing up, Sundays everybody stays at home. Wednesdays, Thursdays. Now there's something to do every night, so people are staying out more. Fashion scene is really exploding. You know, there's a whole alter group of people that's coming through. The forms of self-expression is also changing. You know, you're seeing more dyed hair, piercings, tattoos. There's a lot of self-expression that's changing. But generally, you know, the economy has been very, you know, up and down, topsy-turvy. So, you know, people are finding new ways of making money. You find a lot more content creators coming out. There's a lot more influencers. So it's really changed how we also use social media. But yeah, people are just, everybody's trying to, you know, make it. I don't really know what the Ghanaian dream. We had an episode about the Ghanaian dream.
Yeah,
the Ghanaian dream is making money, you know, working remote for a multinational, earning foreign currency, living in Tresako, and then just, you know, doing a big.
We will talk to us about the Ghanaian dream, but
Yeah, I mean, like he's saying, like, you know, we have certain things. I think if you live in Ghana, you'll be able to relate to this more. There are certain neighborhoods that, you know, in the Ghanaian dream,
they're aspirational.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to live in, the kind of jobs you want to work in, you know, the kind of lifestyle you want to live. Like you mentioned, you know, the culture is changing in terms of like the creative scene, entertainment. People want to experience different things. They want to go to different events and have different experiences. So I think, yeah, in that way, Accra is changing. You know.
Has the conversation around sex and sexuality changed over the last couple of years? And what are some of the things that are driving those changes in conversation?
I think that the opinions, it's, wow, okay, you know what, for example, with dancing, let's talk about careers, dancing, footballing and stuff like that. Parents have seen now, because of social media, that it's something that's viable for their kids to make money from. You know, if your kid is dancing on the internet and then they can end up on the global citizen stage dancing with Asha, like the DWP guys, parents can see that's an avenue where they can actually have a career in. At first, people didn't see that, especially because there wasn't social media to show you what was possible. The internet wasn't, you know, so things like that, yes, definitely. The conversations on sex and sexuality, it's pretty much, I wouldn't say there has been much change, but I would say that people are a bit more bold with their forms of self-expression and standing in their truth. But the narratives and the opinions that people have on it, there hasn't been much change.
They're still outdated.
It's still, yes, but I think that everything takes time, and especially when it comes to things that people consider taboo, and you know, it's going to take longer. But there are strides that are being made.
Let's talk about the Ghanaian diaspora. That's a very big, one of the most vibrant, active diasporas around, you know, in the US, you know, whether it's culturally, you know, I put them almost at par with the Nigerians. Do you look forward to them coming every year since the year of return became very popular?
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, they come and give us pressure more nowadays. But yeah, honestly, yeah, like it's good kind of pressure, and also we do appreciate it when they come around, because for us also, it's also great when we engage with them as well, because like there are still, you know, things that we can relate to on the same level, and there are also certain experiences that we have that they may not have experienced, that they have that we also have experienced. So there's still an exchange there. So yes, we do appreciate it when they do.
Are there doors or avenues that they open for you guys here?
Definitely, you know, you can look at it on one hand, oh my god, there's a lot of traffic, everywhere is full, blah blah blah. But you can look at the opportunities. So many people are here. I mean, every December it's Miss Tina, Beyonce's mother, has been here. Naomi Campbell, Vic Mensa and Chance the Rapper are going to be headlining a concert here in January. So, you know,
a free concert.
All the stars are coming down, and so it's also opening up the opportunities for the people in the creative industry, fashion industry, just to, you know, jump on some of these things, because before it was hard to see. Kendrick Lamar came to do a shoot here. He collaborated with Ghanaian creatives. That wasn't something that was possible if you didn't leave the shores of Ghana. But now, because, you know, Ghana has become very open, it's the destination. Every December, more people come here, they see what's possible. And they're not just coming here in December alone. You know, they discover things when they come in December, and then they're able to come back and then do more. And so it's a great opportunity for people to take advantage of, you know.